What up, gamers? I'm Jason.
I'm Julie.
And today on Dice and Dragons, we are going to be reviewing the Zordon Dice Tower for Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid, or the Power Rangers Roleplaying Game. It is by Renegade Game Studios, both games. But now I'm going to toss it to Julie to tell you more about this cool dice tower.
So first of all, we'd like to thank Renegade Games for sending us this review copy. Maybe they heard me talking about how much I like dice towers. I don't know, but we do appreciate the support of the channel. Our review, however, will remain our own opinions.
So we're not going to be giving this a score, by the way, because it just doesn't really make much sense. You either like a dice tower or you don't. We will comment definitely about the cost of the dice tower, also what you're getting with it, because if you're not going to be using this for a role-playing game, this might be something that falls a little bit outside of your budget. Now, I'll talk about the role-playing content. So as you can see, this represents the command center, and I did move the dice here a little bit, sorry. And on the back, you do have content that is specifically for a game master. So you can see it's got some of the different Rangers, their perks, travel pace, cover, jumping. So it's really a nice rules reference for when you are playing in person the role-playing game. On the other side, you just have a list of the different conditions, turn actions, combat actions, things like that. I also personally love the aesthetic, being a big fan of the original series, the fact that it looks like the command center, and you've got Zordon right there. So does a good job as a game master screen. What do you think of it as a dice tower, Julie? Because you're definitely a bigger fan of dice towers than I am. She saw a dice tower in Wingspan, and then we ended up getting our own, and she always likes to use them now.
I definitely do. I think they add a little bit of table presence. You know, must be the marketing in me. I really do like when something offers some good table presence. I didn't even know what this was. As I said, I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the TV shows. I don't really know what he is. He looks like some sort of computer. But besides that,
he's a floating head.
Yeah, I see that.
From another dimension.
So basically, as a dice tower, it works perfectly well, especially with the big dice.
Yes.
So
good. Thank you for pointing that out. These are the Heroes of the Grid dice, so people have been asking if it actually works with the dice. As you can see, it works just fine.
And I can say it's approved by the toddler man, the little man. He loved, he had a little bit of playtime with us as we were finishing up a game, and we let him roll our dice with the dice tower, and that's all he wanted to do afterwards. So
he tried to take it away, and I said, no, this is Daddy's toy and Mommy's toy, not yours.
So, I guess my main comment will be, from an aesthetic perspective, from a functionality perspective, I mean, it's fairly big. It takes a fair amount of table space. We have lots. If you have restrained space, especially with how much room the game itself takes, it might be a little bit too much of a table hog, but I cannot comment on price point. I've said it before when we do our reviews. I don't know what anything costs. I don't want to know. That's one of the deals that Jason and I have. I'd rather just not know what something costs. So that being said, from a fun perspective, I give it 2 thumbs up.
So if you're looking at the cost of a regular dice tower and a game master screen, you're going to be hitting a little bit higher than that. So I just bought the game master screen for the Transformers role-playing game, which I will be doing a review of in the near future, sometime before the end of the spring on the channel. So you definitely want to check that out. That screen plus a mini adventure hit that about, at least with some discounts from online stores, about a $25 Canadian price point. Now, the dice tower that you're going to be buying, I'd say depending on the quality of the dice tower, we've got some really nice wooden ones as well. I'd estimate them to be anywhere between you can get a good one between $25 to $40 depending on the quality. Now this retails the whole package at around $70 US right now. So you are getting the cost of both of those combined, plus whatever the licensing fees coming from Hasbro for it. So it is going to be on the upper range, meaning that if you're just looking for the Zordon Dice Tower for Heroes of the Grid, it might be a little too expensive for you. If you're going to be using it as a game master screen, and as you can see the setup, I think it's got a little bit more value as just that, because you also get the dice tower and you're going to be rolling dice during the role-playing game, than just as a component for Heroes of the Grid. That being said, though, I still think it's a fantastic add-on. I don't think the price point is completely out of whack because it's two things being put together. you're just paying a little bit more for the Power Rangers license and aesthetic as well. So you have to decide if that's something that's worth it for you. But overall, it's right in the right zone. You know, it's okay, it's not bad, and it's not like you're getting a ton of value for a great price either. So it's just really up to you, the consumer. But for us, Julie says from a fun perspective, it's thumbs up. I think this is a great add-on. If you ever plan to play any of the Renegade games, I believe it's the Origin system that they're using for all of the different games. They are compatible, so you can mash up, I believe, G.I. Joe, Transformers, My Little Pony, Power Rangers. This is the kind of thing that could work well and just add a little flavor to the table presence. On that note, I think we've talked enough about it, so we're going to remind you to... Well, you know what? Actually, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. We're going to remind you to take a look down below in the video description. You'll find links to all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you'd like to see some pictures of Julie and I playing Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid, some pictures with the Zordon Dice Tower, there are plenty on those feeds. And then also popping up in front of us are going to be links to some of our previously released videos. In front of me will be our most recent release. In front of Julie will take you back to one of our Heroes of the Grid videos.
And doing this a little backwards, I'm going to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when we have any new content for you.
Yeah, we're just changing it up a bit today. And on that note, we're now going to grab our drink, grab our fellow Ranger, and remind you to keep playing games.